And then there's this. Right now, an article in Colorado's Constitution says there shall never be in this state either slavery or involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime. Well, in November, Colorado voters will decide if the exception line in that statement should be removed. That's when we go to the polls. And you may remember a similar question on the ballot 2 years ago. The wording, however, was confusing and the amendment failed. Well, Lee McNeil is one Coloradan who is supporting Amendment A to change that wording once and for all. Yes. And she joins us now, and glad to see you here with us. We appreciate it. And I know this is important to you because your grandparents were slaves?
My great grandparents were slaves. They came out of slavery, and it's still when I think about it and reflect on just the trials and tribulations, the things that they had to go through, it's painful.
I can't even imagine, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering how this even ended up in our Constitution.
Well,
do you know the history?
Well, basically, when Colorado became a state, they rolled over into the Colorado Constitution what was in the our national Constitution, the U.S. Constitution. So therefore, it was mimicked from there, and it is still in our national Constitution.
Okay, so what has taken so long? What's the issue here?
Yes, I echo that.
I mean, I think I speak for a lot of people in asking that. Yes.
Well, one of our organizers with Together Colorado realized that it was still in our Constitution and said, this is not right. We should have been, this should never have been, since the Emancipation Proclamation passed in 1865. However, it still is in there, and it should not be. No one should ever be a slave for anyone.
Anything, anywhere,
slavery
anytime,
is
right?
not. It's immoral.
And you talked about the pain in your family and the
Yes.
stories in your family. Give us a little perspective on that.
Well, my great-grandfather, well, I will just say that they didn't talk about, according to my mother, they did not discuss it or talk about it an awful lot. But she did share with me that my great-grandfather and his mother were brought over from Africa on a slave ship to Virginia. They served as slaves in Virginia, and they eventually migrated down to Texas. They walked, that's what she was told. And just to think about not only my family, but perhaps many families coming together, trying to move and do better with themselves. Just thinking of how many possibly did not even make it when they were traveling, trying to migrate to another area.
Yeah. I know that,
and they worked very hard. They were hard-working people.
I know the last time there was this effort to change this wording, there was confusion over that. It was
the language. It was poorly written because many of our voters were confused as to whether to vote yes or no. We have now worked. We have two legislators that sponsored this, Representative Javon Melton and Salazar. And Javon Melton has worked with the legislators to clean that up. So we have worked very hard. So it now has simple English that many of our voters can understand.
Well, we would hope that for all of the items that we vote on, but that is not always necessarily the case. So why should people vote for this, Amendment A?
Because it's not a value. I was born in Texas, and I grew up in Colorado. And to me, it's not a Colorado value. And it also signifies, if you read that, it signifies pain, hurt. We deserve more than that as a state for Colorado. I think we, the people, deserve more than a visual of pain and suffering. It's immoral, and it does not signify freedom and justice for all, which our document says, which it reads.
Well said.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us about Amendment A that will be on the November ballot. We'll be right back.
And thank you for having me.
My pleasure.